Hey, house guests! Welcome to today's Big Brother 23 updates and spoilers. What up? Hope you're all having a great Sunday. Welcome to the Sunday matinee. Yay. So, our house guests of the day are Stephanie and Mike and Connor Bourne. Thank you all so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So, thank you again. And if you want to be house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holla. All right. I also want to thank our super chatters before we get started here. So from yesterday, we had Jefferson Tucker, Nate Swisher, Susie Loy, Vajrath, Kelly D. Cat, Jewel Baby, and Jefferson Tucker again. Thank you all so much. And I see we also have my stage manager, Jefferson Tucker, with a super chat for today. So thank you. And he says, oh, okay. Jefferson put out the Much Love That Was Awkward video. It's a supercut of me being awkward in the spoilers. That's so much fun. I saw that you tweeted it to me. I did not get to watch it yet, but this is something that I will be viewing in the car on the way to the show that we're going to see today. So thank you so much for putting that together and so quickly too. Amazing. And I hope you guys all check it out. He said he put the link in yesterday's comment section, and I think I'll retweet it too because you sent it to me on Twitter, so I'll retweet it too if you guys want to check that out. But I also want to give a shout out to Jolene Lunzer. I heard she was like talking about our book in her video yesterday, so that was really sweet. That's another thing that I'm going to be watching today in the car. We're going to have that on because we didn't get a chance to watch it yet. It's such a quick turnaround on Sundays, but we are excited for our car viewing today. So thank you so much, Jolene. You are a real one. And also, Matt and Jess Carter, I know you guys have been talking up our book as well. So we really appreciate that. All of our BB YouTube friends, you guys are amazing. And we've really been feeling the love on another level this season with all of your support. So thank you all so much. All right, let's get started. When we left off yesterday, Hannah and Whitney up on the block. Christian, the HOH, and Alyssa have been really back and forth on the target this week. Is it going to be Hannah? Is it going to be Whitney? But it seemed like they had settled before nominations on targeting Whitney and potentially building something with Hannah. So the rest of the Kings are divided. You know, we've seen Xavier's been pushing for Whitney to go. He's trying to protect Hannah. Sarah Beth has been pushing for Hannah to go. So it's kind of a mess. You know, there is the potential that it could be going back and forth throughout the week. But after the nominations, Hannah was handling it really well. She's staying calm. She feels safe as long as Whitney is still on the block next to her because she knows she's got the cookout behind her. So that's a significant amount of votes. And then she's also got Derek X. So she feels okay next to Whitney. Whitney was pretty pissed after the nominations. She's claiming that she was not targeting the Kings and she wanted to work with them. And we saw she was trying to build some sort of alliance with Christian, Alyssa, and Xavier. But I feel like a lot of that was just her trying to cover her butt. I don't know exactly what Whitney would have done if she won HOH, because we heard a lot of conversations last week about Whitney wanting to break up the Kings. So I'm not 100% sure what she would have done, but she was pretty taken aback that she was put up on the block. And she's saying she's not going to roll over and die, but she's cool with just going home to her kids. You know, we're running out of weeks before the jury starts, and she does not want to be stuck in the jury house and not even not have a chance of winning, but also not be able to be with her kids. So she's like, if I go home, whatever. That makes for really boring feeds. But anyway, the feeds went down for the Power Veto competition. The host was Alyssa, and this was a short one. The feeds were only down for about 1.5 hours. I think the actual competition itself, they were saying took like 7 minutes. The players were Christian, Whitney, Hannah, Derek X, Claire, and Azah. And this was the competition where you have to roll your ball across like some sort of ramp or something, run to the other side to catch it, and roll it back. And if you drop your ball, you got to start over. You got to get up to a certain number of transfers. So it was called Bump, Set, Veto. And what do you know? Christian won the Power Veto again. So that's another comp win for Christian. I feel like that target on his back is getting pretty large. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. I mean, you'd think it would get bigger, right? We'll see. But it sounds like Azah was also doing well in the competition, and she even had the lead at one point, and then she fell and she scraped up her leg, and then she kept going after that, but it just wasn't the same. She couldn't make up the time that she lost, so that's a bummer. But anyway, after the competition, Christian and Alyssa were chatting in the kitchen, and Christian's asking, do I have a bigger target on me now? And Alyssa says, it's about the same size as the one on Derek X. Is it though? You'd think that Christian's would be larger, but she says that Christian's might be a little bit bigger because he is on the Kings team, and they're the only team with 4 people left. So naturally, if you've got 2 strong competitors, you're going to want to go after the one that has his full team intact still, right? But anyway, they discuss if Christian should have thrown that competition to Derek X. And Alyssa's like, no, you never know, because if Derek had won, he might do something crazy and use the power veto on one of the nominees because he is teammates with both of them. So you never know. She says, I think it was better off this way. Plus, she says people don't want to go after the big targets right now because they don't want the big targets coming back after them. Now, normally I'd be like, sure, like, yeah, you're not a target if you say so. But like after the conversations that I heard last night, there may be some truth to that in this situation. Oh, we'll get there. But why does my head look so large today? But Xavier joined them, and he told Christian, don't stress. You know, I know you're freaking out because you won another competition and you're worried that the target's going to be even bigger on you, but you did what you had to do. You control the weak. And Christian says, yeah, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm not going to use the power veto because why the F would I? I mean, why would he, right? Unless he had some sort of backdoor plan in mind, but doesn't seem like that. It doesn't seem that way. So meanwhile, we've got Claire and Derek X chatting in the coral bedroom. And Derek's like, damn, I was actually going for that POV. I wasn't throwing it or anything. Christian is such a beast. I mean, you'd think he'd be feeling pretty intimidated right now, right? Like, he was going hard for that competition, and Christian just beasted it. But Claire says she's embarrassed by how poorly she did. She says she's not good at cardio. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Claire was also just playing this up and did throw it because she's got safety from the wildcard competition until jury starts. So why would she want to be winning this POV and putting a bigger target on her back? So I wouldn't be surprised if she did throw that, but maybe she didn't. I don't know. So Derek again is saying Christian is a beast. He's scary. He says this was my first time going head to head with him, and it was rough. So Claire says this is good for Derek because Christian is going to be a bigger threat now in front of him. He's a shield in front of him. I mean, there's some truth to that. All right. So then after, Hannah and Derek X were chatting in the coral bedroom, and Hannah says she doesn't think that Christian's going to use the power veto this week. I think that's a safe bet. She says the only thing she's really worried about is someone potentially flipping the vote on her this week. She's asking, do you think that's a possibility? And Derek says, no, I don't think so. You know, you're going to have my vote. You're going to have the 3 queens. You're going to have, Hannah says she thinks she's going to have Xavier's vote, which she will. Derek says Azah as well because Azah does not want Whitney around anymore. So that's 6 right there. And that's all you need to not even have a tie situation. It would be 5 to tie, 6 to secure. But that's not even counting the rest of the cookout, which Derek X doesn't know about. So Hannah says she's just nervous that somebody from Team Kings is going to try and flip this vote. Like, I don't know, Sarah Beth, who was like trying to get rid of Hannah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if she's going to try. We'll see what happens. She might push for it a little bit, but I don't know how hard she's going to go now that things seem a little bit more settled. So later on, we had Kyland and Christian chatting in the coral bedroom. Claire was like in and out of the room. She wasn't there for this part really, but Christian says they're all set for this week. Kylan brings up how Whitney said in front of like 5 people at least that if she's not going to win this whole thing, she wants to go home before jury. So Kylan says, we know that Whitney's not going to win with how she competes. We've seen her in quite a few competitions now. Not great. So the chances of her actually winning, very low. So I guess like we should just get rid of her before jury, right? So Christian's like, yeah. He's wondering if the vote is going to be unanimous for Whitney to go. He's like, I don't know why it wouldn't be. I'm getting a little bit sick over these unanimous votes. I'd like to see some more exciting gameplay. They've gotten into this pattern where they have like a house target and it's all set by like Saturday night. And then the rest of the week is just like all this crazy planning for the next week. And that it's very strange how things have worked out so far this season. But we'll see. I think things are going to change once the team twist is over. I think things are going to get a little bit spicier. So anyway, they feel pretty confident that another Royal Flush member will win HOH next week. And Christian says he thinks that they could win every competition for the rest of the season. He's riding high right now. So then Alyssa and Christian had a game chat in the HOH room. And Christian says the only person that he's afraid would put him up on the block next week is Azah. Are you serious? What? You're in like a showmance. You've won so many competitions. What about everybody else? He's only worried about Azah. That is wild to me. But he's afraid of Azah because she said during her one-on-one chat with him that she probably would have nominated him if she had won HOH because people would be putting pressure on her to put up one of Team King's, and they haven't really talked any game yet. So it would have made sense for her. So he's afraid that she's going to put him up in the future. So Alyssa says, well, if I win HOH, I want Azah to go. She's been saying that since last week, though. But anyway, they agree. They want Hannah, Brittany, and Big D all in jury with them, along with their Royal Flush alliance. So interesting. Then Hannah and Derek X had a game chat in the coral bedroom. And this is where things start to get a little out of control. Little out of control here. They're discussing potentially working together with Christian and Alyssa. What are you doing? Hannah says she doesn't really see herself working with Alyssa, but she does see it with Christian. And Derek says he'd rather work with Christian than against him, for sure. They're 2 dudes with big targets on them. They're good at competitions. So it would make sense to work together. And he's saying he has a decent relationship with Alyssa already. So it's kind of like the flip-flop of Hannah's situation. But Hannah says she's really worried that the Kings are going to target them next week if they win HOH again. Because, like, who else are they going to go after? They're not going to go after the Queens. Are they going to waste their HOH on the Jokers? Like, no. So Hannah's like, ugh, maybe we should work with them. We should set something up here. But she says if the Kings don't win, one of them needs to go because they are a beast of a team. We can't have 4 of them in the jury. So, I mean, she's saying, like, obviously they're a voting block. If one of the Kings were to make it to the final 2, they would have like a guaranteed 3 votes in their favor. They can't have that. So Hannah's saying, like, they need to be broken up, but we should work with whichever ones are still here. So, yeah, Derek says it would be a real powerhouse situation if he and Christian started working together instead of against each other. And Hannah says, yeah, it would be smart for you guys to keep each other in the game. So then, not all of the attention is on you. So Hannah's trying to figure out who their target should be. If they are going to work with Alyssa and Christian, that takes them out of the target list. So is it going to be Sarah Beth or Xavier? And Hannah says, Xavier's not coming after us. So Sarah Beth? And Derek says, yeah, I feel like Sarah Beth would throw me under the bus. And Hannah agrees with that. She was thrown under the bus hard this week by Sarah Beth. I don't know if she knows the extent of that yet, but woo. And they also talk about how Sarah Beth might see Derek X as an obstacle to her working closely with Kylan because Derek X is also close to Kylan. But Derek is nervous. If he does take a shot at Sarah Beth, Kylan would be really pissed. And so would the rest of the Kings. So he doesn't want all these strong players coming after him. So Derek says, you know what? I'm not sure if I can take a shot at the Kings. Like any of them. Oh my God. These people need to step up. But they agree they're going to work on their relationships with the Kings, see what they can get going. That was only the beginning. Because then Tiffany and Azah were also talking about targets up on the Sky Bridge. And Tiffany is talking about how dangerous Sarah Beth is, which she totally is. But like also there is a showmance in the house within a group of 4. So Tiffany says Sarah Beth is going to skate right on by. She could potentially put both of us up on the block next to each other. She's playing a very low-key game, and I have no idea what she's thinking. You know, I have no idea who she's going after. So they agree they both really like her as a person, but this is a game, so you got to leave that part aside. It's just funny saying that considering what else Tiffany and Azah said. But anyway, Tiffany says that Sarah Beth is really high on her radar, though. She's watching her. Okay. So then they also discuss how much they like Derek X, and it's going to be really sad when he has to go. And Azah says, sometimes I feel closer to Derek in this game than I do to Hannah. And Hannah's a part of the Cookout Alliance. Are they including her now? Is she a full member now? But Tiffany says she really struggles sometimes with balancing the cookout and her own personal relationships outside of their alliance. She says if this was not the first season with this more diverse casting, she'd be playing a totally different game. But they're really trying to make sure that an African-American house guest is going to win this season because it's never happened on American Big Brother before. So Azah agrees. She's like, I totally get what you mean. And Tiffany again is saying Derek X is not somebody that I want to see leave. She wants him around for the long run. So then on the other hand, Azah saying, Alyssa, she needs to go. Okay, thank you. That makes sense. But they talk about after that how much they love Christian. A lot of people have been comparing him to like a golden retriever or a labradoodle because he's just so like happy-go-lucky, right? If Christian gets all the way to the end on his golden retriever qualities. So Tiffany says she's nervous. If she wins HOH, the guys in the cookout are going to be putting a lot of pressure on her to target Christian. And she says, I can't do it. She compares him to like her son in the house. Her son in real life has the same name. Her son's name is Christian. But she says, no, the guys are going to have to take out Christian. I don't want to do it. I don't want any part of that. And Azah agrees. She says, Christian did me a solid this week. You know, he very well could have put me up on the block as a pawn, and he didn't. He said he was going to give the Jokers a break. So if I won HOH, I wouldn't put him up. I couldn't put him up. So then Azah says, for us to have a chance, though, someone on the Kings needs to go next week. And Tiffany says, for real, who? And again, Azah saying, Alyssa. And Tiffany says, no, I can't take out Alyssa either. I can't, because Christian would be so mad at me. Oh my God. So Christian and Alyssa, the freaking showmans who are trying so hard to claim that they're not a showmans when they absolutely are going to end up making it to the end because nobody wants to make the move against them. So then a little later, Derek X starts laying the groundwork with Alyssa in the HOH room. So Derek says, I'm starting to think a lot about the final 8. Christian and I working together would be a powerhouse duo. And Alyssa says, yeah, it'd be pretty dope. It's almost like, why even go after each other? You know, we don't need to. We can work together. Nobody would expect it. So she asks him, is there a 4th person that you could see working with us out of our 8 royal flush? So it'd be like me, you, Christian, and blank. And Derek X is like, well, would you trust Hannah? And Alyssa says, I trust Hannah, but she's not in the Royal Flush Alliance, and I don't want to go against the 8. So that's definitely a roadblock. But she says, I would be down to keep Hannah to be the last person outside of the alliance. So like bring her to the final 9 and then we'll go from there. So then Derek X is like, okay, well, what about Tiffany? I like Tiffany. She's close to Christian as well. Alyssa didn't really address that. She went back to the Hannah thing. She's like, okay, I'm down to work with Hannah until the final 9. It makes sense for duos to stick together, which is funny because Christian and Alyssa also kind of set up like this understanding with Tiffany and Claire the night before, being like, oh, duos need to stick together. So they're definitely setting up a lot of stuff because they feel like they're at the bottom of the Royal Flush Alliance right now. So anyway, they agree that Hannah and Alyssa have a lot of game knowledge. Derek and Christian are obviously very good at competitions. So they have a lot of strengths in that group of 4. And Alyssa's saying, all right, what if we get to the final 9 with Hannah? And then at that point, we can talk to Tiffany and Claire and see if they would be down to swap out one of the other Royal Flush members for Hannah. So we cut some of the dead weight and we keep Hannah around, and then we can move forward with her. Interesting. They say they're going to talk about it at some point, but they didn't do that last night. So after that conversation, Alyssa told Christian about the conversation with Derek X, and Christian was definitely more skeptical about it. Alyssa seemed really gung-ho, and Christian's like, I don't know. I'm not really sure if I can build something with Derek X. He's got like trust issues with him ever since the first week. So he's not sure about that. Also, he feels like Hannah would target Alyssa if she won HOH. So he's like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see. So in other news, Sarah Beth and Whitney were chatting on the hammock last night, and Sarah Beth is telling Whitney, I think you should fight to stay. Of course, Sarah Beth thinks that. She wants Hannah to go. So Whitney says, I don't know. I just don't know what I could possibly say that would make me, have a chance to stay. I don't know who else Christian could possibly put up on the block. He's not going to put up a guy since 3 have already left. He's already promised Brittany that she's not going up this week because he's giving her a break. He can't put up any of his teammates. He's got a great relationship with Tiffany. Claire is safe until jury because of the wild card. So she says literally the only other person left to nominate would be Azza, and I don't want to put him in a position where he's got to get more blood on his hands. She says, honestly, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with going home. So Sarah Beth is like, okay, I will say, oh, I gotta sneeze. Oh my God. Oh, I hate that. So Sarah Beth says, I will say the target has not always been you. It's gone back and forth. So you have a chance to stay, even if the power veto isn't used. Like, you could possibly get the votes. So Whitney says, of course, I'd love to stay. I'd love to keep playing, but it's okay if I don't, which basically tells me she doesn't feel like putting in the effort to try. It doesn't mean that much to her. So yeah, I don't see her campaigning too much this week, but you never know. So then last night also, Tiffany was talking more about how she wants Sarah Beth out. She's saying, I can't read her. I don't know who she's targeting. We got to get her out of here. Also, she's on the Kings, so it would be great for them to lose a number. So she talked to Claire about it. She talked to Xavier about it. And Tiffany and Xavier are even suspecting at this point that Sarah Beth could be America's player. Oh my God. They're really weirded out that she keeps saying how much she wants to make it to jury and how important it is to her. So like, why does she want to make it to jury so badly? Like, I want to make it all the way to the end. Why does she keep talking about jury? They're wondering, does she get some sort of extra prize money for making it to jury as America's player? They're losing it. They're losing it in there. Yeah, so that was last night. Today, they should be just like getting up now, I guess. I don't know. I didn't see what time they got up today, but it should be mostly a chill day. The power veto ceremony is tomorrow. It does not seem like Christian is going to use it, and I don't see either of the nominees putting up putting in too much effort to try and get it used. So as of right now, Whitney is going. I don't know. Hi.
Don't look at me. I'm hideous.
Oh, come on. Hi, puppies. Minnie, come here. I don't know how much effort is even going to be put into swaying the vote this week. I don't know if Sarah Beth is like, whatever, it's going to be Whitney going, moving on. Or if she's going to try to flip the vote. It's hard to say, but we still got days left until this eviction. We'll see what happens. But yeah, as of right now, Whitney's going. So I want to thank all of our super chatters today because you guys are awesome. Jefferson Tucker, thank you so much. And thank you for making the super cut. We will be checking that out in the car today.
Does he want to post the link in the chat and we'll approve the link?
Yeah. Jefferson, did you try to post the link in here? Because we will try to make sure it gets approved so it goes through. But it's also, he said on yesterday's video in the comment section, and I'm going to be retweeting it later.
Yeah.
So we'll be checking it out. Is this Megan J.A.?
Yes.
Megan J.A. with a heart. Cute. Thanks so much for the super chat. Traval K, thank you so much for the super chat. And we will enjoy our time with Granny today. We're very excited for the show that we're seeing. It's like a Candor and Ebb review. So it's going to be a good time. Jazz, thanks for the super chat. Michelle Noel Creations, thanks so much. She says she's getting a Crispin Glover vibe from Christian. Interesting. I could see that. Yeah. Crispin Glover freaks me out because that movie with all the mice or whatever it was. I don't know. I never saw it all the way through, but Kristen, my sister, watched it because she was like really into.
Also in Stranger Things?
I can't remember now.
Was he the bad guy or was that somebody else?
Are you talking about the father? What's his face? Eleven's dad?
Mm-hmm.
No, that was Matthew Modine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Similar.
But anyway, thanks for the super chat. And Candy, thank you so much for the super chat. You are so sweet. Okay. Oh, Jefferson.
Candy is sweet.
Yeah, right? Oh my God. Perfect. Jefferson said he's going to post the link in the comment section once the live is over. So
okay,
that'll be in there. All right. That sounds great.
Live too.
Yeah, but I think it'll be better if it's in the comments. Whatevs. But we got to get out of here. We got to go in like 5 minutes. So we got to go. But thank you all so much for being here. We'll see you later for tonight's episode chat. So thank you all so much for watching. And until later. Awkward ending. Much love. Bye.